All right, everyone. Welcome to the Victory Post podcast. And today we have a very special guest. He's my friend, and I was very, very fortunate enough for him to invite me to his gym opening in Central Missouri. So I want to thank you very much for doing that. So before we get into this, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my bodybuilding show coming on in November here in Tucson, Arizona. And So this is the flyer. It's gonna be in November 11th, and I'm very glad to say First Form is sponsoring this event. So thank you, First Form, for everything you do for me and for the organization. So again, November 11th, here in Tucson, Arizona. So and it's an amateur natural bodybuilding show. So get your vote in. Registration is open, so let's get it, guys. This is gonna be amazing. This is my first show, hosting first show, so I hope everything goes to plan. So I depend on you guys to make this show successful. So share this to your friends and family. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So we're back. So Thomas, thank you very much for coming to my podcast.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. So um, Thomas, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
yeah. Like I said, I do own a gym in St. Charles, Missouri. But for me, fitness started years ago. I tell everybody I tried my first workout when I was 8 years old, and then it just really started from there. And the first thing I had to figure out was, how can I manage my own body weight? And then it went into the military. And where I learned how to train other people, and then it just grew from there. And so now, I won't give out the exact number, but many years later, I own a gym in St. Charles, and I'm very very fortunate that I get to really do what I love and help other people, and you know that's what I get to do now. And aside from being in the gym, I have four kids, a dog, and a rabbit, and so my life stays pretty busy.
That's nice. Very good introduction. And of course, um, I've been trying to be, a gym owner too. So this is gonna be an interesting conversation, and I hope to learn more from you. And my audience is watching. Also hope to learn more from you. So this is gonna be an interesting podcast, of course. Um, so this question is just an icebreaker. So in this world, no one gets to the top, right, without saying I did it all by myself, right? Whatever being the case, someone did help you. Even that good morning or good afternoon or good evening might have even boost your momentum a little bit, and that might
Yeah.
take you to the top. So everyone did get some help, for them to get to the top. So my
Yep.
question for you is, as a person's kindness made a difference in your life.
Oh, totally, totally. No, just to piggyback on what you said, no man is an island unto himself. Man or
Yep.
woman, nobody's an island unto themselves. Nobody's self-made. Yes, people's kindness has definitely helped me, to get to where I'm at. And whether it's when I was younger and trying to work through, just building my own personal confidence, being younger, or just within the last few years, helping me build my business, and just whether it was some strategy, or whether it was because I work with a lot of business owners. So as business owners, they see me, they understand what I'm going through. So I've been fortunate enough that those clients have, doing sessions, have been willing to say, hey, if you try this or you look into this will really really help you. So
Nice, nice. Yeah, and of course, as I said, we've all been helped, to get to the top. Even the little advice that someone you didn't even know gave you could even help you get to the top. And
yep.
each step of the way, you have to appreciate that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what makes us humans. Appreciating every step, every little step. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
If I could be remembered for one thing, and this is hard, people that know me know sometimes I can go back and forth over some things, and
Yeah.
I would rather have two or three options. Why does it have to be one?
Yeah. Well. Let's go with your two or third options.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Let's hear it.
but I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah.
So one, if I had to pick one, I would say that I'm really a person of excellence. I believe in excellence. I believe that you can really be your best at any age.
Okay.
So if I had to be remembered for that one thing, it's believing that at any age, you can be your best. And I'd put that right there, as number one. If I had to pick a second one, is is that it's said a lot, but developing your personal power and really believing in yourself and having that confidence, that's understated. So I would go with those two.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. And confidence really comes with dedicating your time and being who you say you are. And with that too in mind, you can really achieve everything. And
Yeah,
yeah. So thank you for that.
yeah,
So to move on, I've known you for quite not really known you because I've seen you in the gym a lot, but
yeah,
we
yeah,
never we never we never talk or anything. It's just like, hey, how you doing? That's all.
yeah.
Um,
We had that gym bro thing going on.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, what's up?
yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Yeah, so that's great. So yeah, so I see you at the gym, and I'm like, God, this guy looks very fit, and I'm sure is kind of working towards his fitness business, or is someone in the fitness industry, because you always have some clients with you, training and helping them, So I was like, one thing I wanted to know was before you even thought of owning a gym or even thought of becoming a fitness guy.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what were you really doing before then? Maybe 18 years and less. What were you doing before then?
Really, and this is only looking back. I was just working on myself.
Okay.
I was working on myself. I had to master my own body, my own mindset, how to eat for myself, and once I mastered those things, then I felt comfortable enough to be able to say, okay, I can actually help other people. And
Okay.
it took a while to get to that point. I'm just one of those people that, I wanna, I wanna really know it, and not like know it like a bunch of facts, but I want to experience it. I want to master. I want to know it, and then okay, now I'm at a point I can really share this with other people, but and lead them through that process too, because it is a process, as we know. Um, but yeah, I would say that's what I was doing. I was really just working on myself.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. You did mention of mental, right? You did mention of working towards yourself in
Yeah,
having the mental fortitude and all that stuff. How do you really come up with that mental fortitude? How do you really come up with it?
yeah. So it's interesting. I think a lot of it started, maybe because I'm an introvert. And
Okay.
so, I'm always having these thoughts running inside my mind. But it was that internal dialogue. And, I started learning, if I started challenging this internal dialogue and paying more attention to it, one, I could really, if I don't pay attention, I can really set myself up for failure because it's gonna tell me a bunch of bad stuff.
Yep.
It's gonna get real negative fast. If I pay attention to this and I weed out the negative ones and I start sewing in some positive ones, uh, it started to help me more. And then, my time in the military was great because, it was a time of no excuses.
Yep.
So, being able to just get stronger mentally when you don't believe in yourself, but you got somebody that's not letting you not believe in yourself.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah.
in the process, it's like, well, what are you going to do? You don't have I didn't have the option for a lot of years not to believe in myself. So that push really brought me to a place where I saw, what I could do. And in that process, it did, strengthen my mindset and give me that mental fortitude, that I would use in all the subsequent years.
Okay. Nice, nice. And yeah, and you know, I in you can achieve mental fortitude in so many ways, and you did mention a lot. And when it comes to welcoming all the positive energy into your cycle and letting go of the negative cycle is sometimes tough, right? But
Yeah.
but again, there are so many materials and so many help out there that you can depend on, And I think one of the books that I've read that have really helped me to keep the mental fortitude or keep the positive energy going is the Law of Attraction. Have you ever read that book?
Yes, I have.
So
Yes,
the
I
Law
have.
over here, yeah. So this book over here is so good. It
Yeah.
tells you, yeah, it gives you so many advice on how to get that mental fortitude going. So
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, so again, yeah, thank you for sharing that. So I'm gonna ask you one more question about your personal life. Okay. So if you could write a book, what would that be about?
If I could write a book, what would
Yeah.
that be about?
Yep. Remember, you're in the fitness world, right? So if you could write a book, if let's say it's toward fitness, but what would that fitness book really be about?
Yeah. So, if I had to write a book, and I don't have a title, but I give you the substance of what I
Yeah.
what I believe that book would be about. And that book would be about really the personal journey and what you go through and what you become when you do have to you have to lose the 100 pounds, right? To really talk about what that journey's like, and how a person discovers themselves, how they start to tear down the negativity that's probably been there. Maybe it's a little bit of trauma, but then how they can really start building up the and coming into the person that they truly believe themselves to be, stronger, both mentally, physically. I would talk about that. For me, just like no one's an island of themselves, I would add in there, a little bit of the spiritual side of it.
Okay.
That because it's a challenge. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yep. Hmm.
But it is a challenge, especially to lose it and to keep it off.
Yeah.
So, I would write about that, because life throws us so many different curves and so many different hurdles, and all of that factors in. It's not just about the workouts. It's not just about let me, eat enough protein, fat,
Yep.
and carbs. It's really our whole lives, and that's what I would talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. And you did mention a very good point, right here, the spiritual aspect, right? The spiritual aspect is always big, right? It's one of the biggest call core background of a leadership, right?
Yeah,
Every
totally.
leader has to be very good in a spiritual what do we call it? It's spiritual life, right? So it's
Yep.
not just about physical. It's not just about mental.
Yep.
Spiritual is very, very big. So these three are very big. And as a leader, you have to obtain this three to become very successful.
Yep.
And I can tell you, I'm not even very good at the spiritual aspect. It's very, very difficult to master. So
Oh yeah.
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 So I want to thank you for bringing that up. So
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. So now let's go. Now, how do you grow your business? In the fitness business, or in trying to come up with gyms and recreational facilities and all that stuff. Can you tell me what is a common myth about that?
A common myth about like getting a facility and
Yeah.
just
Yep.
equipment and stuff like
Hmm.
that. You know, um, I would say a common myth that's out there. is, that you have to build your gym, like a smaller box gym, and so that's the expectation, that people have. But really, you have to build your gym, based upon your model and really your clients that you're serving.
Okay.
But most people, that's their mindset is, they have to have a smaller box gym and where they replicate what's happening at a one of those bigger chain gyms, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I never thought about it that way. So yeah, yeah, yep. Nice, nice. Do you have any regrets?
Totally. Totally. I
Okay.
got a lot of regrets. I got a
All
lot of regrets.
right.
How long is this podcast? A lot of them, man. A lot of them. And be specific. Be specific. But if it's about business,
Yeah,
I
it's
would,
mostly about your business. Yeah, about your fitness
yeah,
business. Yeah.
yeah. I would say not. I look back and I say not starting sooner.
Okay.
Not going for it sooner. I would say that's the biggest regret. But at the same time, I realized I had to be ready to go for it as well. You know, but I do wish that I had, you know, 10 years ago made the leap
Okay.
and, just went for it, you know. So that's one of the regrets I would say right there, you know. And then I could just go down a list, check it
All
out.
right. All right. Well, let's talk more about that one point you brought up. So being able to start early, and that comes with its own pros and cons, right? For
Yeah.
example, you can start early, but if you aren't ready, then it's gonna be a long journey, right? It's gonna be a
Yeah.
long journey. You're gonna lose a lot. You're gonna lose a lot before even you learn how
True.
to get the business going, right?
True.
So if you could start 10 years ago, as you said, would you be ready within in that 10 years? And if you aren't ready, how can you come back strong?
Yeah, yeah, and you're right. If you're not ready, it's gonna flop. It's not
Yep.
gonna be a very, very good experience for you. Um, so you said if you start off and you're not ready, how could you come back strong? Is
Yep.
that what you're asking?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, in business, you need two things to really be able to come back or go the distance. You know, One is resilience, and the second is capital. Cash is really king when it
Oh yeah.
comes down to business, and having the resilience in your business. And that's something I got from a first business coach years ago. And because nothing really works. Resilience is there for you. As the challenges you face, but then obviously to be able to absorb hiccups, low times, and just all the problems that you can incur, then
Yeah.
you're gonna need some cash on hand to do
Oh yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yep. Yep. Would
yeah.
you would you would you ever in your lifetime suggest to your mentees or people that look up to you um to go for like a very big amount of loan to do their business?
Um, yes, I would. Yes, I could say that. In fact, yes, I would qualify and say that. Yeah, get some good terms though. You
Okay.
know, Everything has a cost,
Oh yeah.
right? So work out the best terms that you can. Because the biggest thing is not about the loan necessarily.
Hmm.
It's about are you going to be in a position where the revenue's coming back in to pay it? You know, if you're in a position where the revenue's coming back in to pay it, then I mean, that's the cost of starting a business is you got to get funding somewhere.
Yep.
Either you're going to have it, friends and family, or you're going to go borrow it you're going to get it from some outside source. And some source like that's going to want to be paid for, and that's
Yep.
interest.
Yep.
So, I don't think there's a problem with it, but you just got to know, okay, am I going to be set up in, next month, 2 months, whatever, to start paying this money back?
Nice. Nice. Um So, so I want us to talk about the steps you took, to come up with a gym. Let's say the gym that you invited me for the opening, right? What
Yeah.
what what step did you take to say, okay, you know what, this is the area I want the gym to be in? What steps did you take?
Yeah. So, I'll say this because just to so everybody know your listeners and followers know, it was 9 to 10 years as a personal trainer in the county before I opened up my first location. So, there's a lot of groundbreaking learning during that time frame. But immediately before I opened up the location, some of the things I did to really prepare is I looked at what was going on in the area that I chose. So one, I saw that there was a large boxing gym that left the area and they took their trainers and they just closed down. So if you understand people, people really want to drive within 10 minutes to get to stuff. So now if you have that whole thing that's gone, then it leaves a hole in the market. And so, that was one of the things I did. I had the fortunate opportunity to actually have a small studio, probably a half a mile from where my location opened up before I opened up this location. So I was already bringing in clients, from the area. So aside from looking at that, I think I also start looking at the competition, you know,
Okay.
and start looking at saying, okay, which are the gyms in my area that are serving the same people and in a roundabout way doing just about the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I started to, really analyze that so I could know what the market was like, before I, really opened up.
Yeah.
And then, roughly I laid out a plan. Now I am a big believer in ready, fire, aim. If we had, there's actually a book on that. I'm a big believer in that. So, I'm not the one that's going to take a 50-page business plan and take 6 months to do it. I'm going to take a 3-page business plan and be trying to execute in 30, 60, 90 days. That's just that's just the way I've learned to do business, as a smaller operation, as an entrepreneur. um so what I did was I just had a plan about one, what type of services I was going to be offering, and I narrowed down on that. And then I had a plan, a contingency plan. Okay, because marketing, so I laid out how I wanted to do my marketing, and I had a plan A and a plan B. Plan A was, okay, this is what you can use it. If it doesn't work, what are you going to do?
Yep.
And so my plan B was find somebody that knows what the heck they're doing before before you end up in a real bad place.
Yeah.
So that's really those are the three things that I did. I could go into depths on it, but that's really the three things right
Okay.
there.
All
So
right. Good. Very good. Very good information, of course. I picked up on one thing though. So after the boxing gym left that area, you decided to, okay. You said, okay, there is a gap or a hole right now in this area. Did you ever do your research as to why that boxing company left? Maybe because they aren't getting any customers. Did you do that research?
that's a good point. So because that chain had closed down, um, you know, a number of their facilities in the area and just in the region, across a couple of states. I didn't take the time to do that because on the opposite side, I knew the county that I lived in.
Okay.
So I studied the area that was here. So if the area was declining, then that's probably why they moved out.
Yep.
But the area was not declining.
Oh, okay.
So, I was like, okay, they're not moving out because of the area. So then me coming into the area will most likely be still a very, very good opportunity.
Yes. Nice. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. Got it now. Very good information on that
Yeah.
one. So to move on. So we all have someone who inspired us, right, or motivates us all the time, right? Can you tell
Yeah.
me who is your influential model?
Hmm. Hmm. This has changed. over the years. This
Okay.
has changed over the years. I would tell you this right now, and you know me. We've talked several times. He's been around me. I mean, this is not an arrogant statement, right? But I would say this: the person that's motivating me the most right now is the person that I'm going to become through what I'm doing. And I just put it out there just to be real clear with everybody. It's not, oh, I'm doing this because I want to make all this money and I'm gonna be having these cars. No, it's the father I want to become, right? It's what type of father I can be if I'm successful at this. It's what type of son I can be if I'm successful at this. It's what type of brother I can be if I'm successful at this. That's what's really motivating me right now. It's who I'm going to become, because of the hardships, the challenges, but everything I'm having to press through right now.
Yep.
And I would say, if you'd asked me this question 20, 30 years ago, I would have picked a number of icons that I had, through the years that have motivated me, inspired me, that I like devoured their works. But right now, that's where I'm at with things.
Okay. Because it's really interesting, because your influential model or your ideal model is always gonna be ahead of you. It's always gonna be 10 years or 5 years ahead of you, right? The more
Yep.
you work,
Yep.
the more you work hard towards that goal. In five
Yep.
or 10 years, your ideal model is already 5 or 10 years ahead of you again. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very very
True.
difficult for you to get to your idea or influential model, right? It's very difficult. But what you can do is plan ahead, work very hard, be consistent in
Yep.
whatever you do, and even though it's gonna be very difficult to get there, you're still
Yep.
gonna get your goals and everything done. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
good. So yeah, so we have about 3 minutes. So can you give us or the general population, everyone watching, your three top tips on how to build their business effectively, especially in
Uh,
the fitness world?
yeah. So I would say, especially in the fitness world, one, get you a business coach that's going to work with you on marketing.
Okay.
Okay. And get you a really good business coach that's going to do that for you. You don't know marketing, you know fitness. All right. No, that's just it. Just know that. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
The second thing is, understand the clients you want to serve, understand what they want, give them what they want.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of times we get stuck in what they need, give them what they want. Okay. Then I would say the third thing is, you know, yes, be resilient, and then just model everything. Model everything. So, they need to lose weight, then you be at your goal weight. They need to drink water, then you drink water. I would say those are the three things right there, that can really grow, really, really good, fitness business, with the assume being in there, be a good person.
Okay. Oh yeah. Always be a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
Always be a good
Yeah.
person. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Thank you very much for sharing these three top tips. For everyone watching, I hope you had fun in this segment, this podcast segment. I for sure know I did. I did learn a lot from Thomas right now. So Thomas, thank you for sharing everything on this podcast.
Thank you for having me. And this has been on my mind. He talked about how he saw me in the gym. I saw him in the gym, and that's what pushed me through my workouts because I was like, that dude's jacked. So, but thank you for having me. Thank
Yeah, yep, yep. Thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you at the next podcast. You all have a great day.